Ever wish you could just download like a lifetime of wisdom from someone? Well, today we're going to try to do that.
Okay.
We're going to unpack the mind of Charlie Munger.
Sounds good.
You know, even Bill Gates said he was like the broadest thinker he'd ever met.
Wow.
Which is saying something coming from Bill Gates.
Absolutely.
And here's what I find really interesting.
Okay.
Charlie built this incredible fortune without ever formally studying like economics or business or finance.
Yeah, that's what makes him so fascinating, right?
Yeah.
Like his success wasn't built on some secret formula, or
Yes.
insider knowledge.
Yeah.
It was really about thinking differently.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his quotes, I think, really sums it up.
Okay.
He said, "It is remarkable how much long-term advantage people like us have gotten by trying to be consistently not stupid
Okay.
instead of trying to be very intelligent."
You know, he had a way of making these like really profound ideas sound so simple.
He did.
It's like he's saying, yeah, brilliance is overrated. Just avoid the dumb mistakes.
Exactly.
Like, don't be stupid.
He recognized that avoiding errors is
Yeah.
often more important than trying to be a genius,
Mm-hmm.
both in investing and just in decision-making overall.
Yeah, and that leads us to like another one of his big ideas, right?
Yeah.
The circle of competence.
Yeah.
So basically stick to what,
Right.
don't venture outside of what you're good at.
Stay within your circle.
Yeah.
He really stressed that,
Yeah.
understanding your own limitations. And within your circle, you have that depth of knowledge that lets you make informed decisions.
Right.
Outside of it, you're way more likely to make like costly mistakes.
It's like knowing when to play it safe and when to go all in, but always based on like real understanding, not just speculation.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Not just gambling,
Yeah.
but real knowledge.
Yeah. And this idea goes way beyond investing too, right?
Absolutely.
Think about your own life.
Yes.
How many times have you tried to do something you knew nothing about
Too many.
and ended up regretting it?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
It's like that time I tried to fix my own leaky faucet
Oh, no.
and ended up flooding the
Oh,
bathroom.
gosh.
So sticking to what, I think is like a universal principle for success.
It really is.
And speaking of avoiding mistakes,
Yes.
Charlie was also very outspoken about the dangers of letting emotions like influence your investment decisions.
He was.
He really believed that keeping a level head was key.
Absolutely essential.
He once said, the desire to get rich fast is pretty dangerous. He saw that emotional decision-making, driven by greed or fear, often leads to bad outcomes.
It does.
Okay.
And there's actually data to back that up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So over a 20-year period, investors who let their emotions dictate their choices earned $21,422 on a $10,000 investment.
Okay.
But get this.
Yeah.
Those who kept their emotions in check
Okay.
and made rational decisions,
Uh-huh.
they earned $34,683.
Wow. That's a huge difference.
That's a difference of over $13,000.
Yeah.
Just by keeping your cool.
It really highlights like the financial cost of letting emotions run wild.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that patience and discipline are really key to building wealth.
He wasn't advocating for blind faith in the market, though.
Right.
He understood that there would be ups and downs.
Yeah, of
Or
course.
what he emphasized was having a long-term plan
Okay.
and sticking to it,
Yeah.
even when the market gets turbulent.
Right.
Trying to time the market perfectly, he believed, is a fool's errand.
Yeah, like impossible.
Basically.
So instead of chasing those quick wins, he was all about finding undervalued opportunities,
Yes,
doing your research and letting your investments grow over time.
absolutely.
He understood that real wealth is built gradually, not overnight.
Exactly. It's
Right.
a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
And that's where his contrarian approach comes in.
Right.
He wasn't afraid to go against the grain.
Huh.
In fact, he believed that mimicking the herd
Yeah.
would only get you average results.
Right.
He famously said, mimicking the herd invites regression to the mean.
So he was basically saying if you want exceptional results,
Yes.
you can't just follow the crowd.
You have to think for yourself.
You got to do your own homework.
Exactly.
Be willing to take calculated risks.
He attributed his success to his ability to focus and
Right.
think deeply.
Okay.
He once said, I succeeded because I have a long attention span.
Wow.
So for him, success wasn't about, being flashy or
Yeah.
jumping on the latest trend.
Yeah.
It was about developing deep expertise
Uh-huh.
and understanding the fundamentals.
Wow. Yeah, it's fascinating how he connected focus to like developing that real expertise.
Right.
Especially in a world that's obsessed with like quick fixes.
Totally.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
His long-term approach is almost like countercultural.
He was a true believer in the compounding effect of knowledge.
Yeah.
The more you focus, the more you learn, and the more those insights compound to give you an edge.
And speaking of knowledge,
Okay.
we can't talk about Charlie Munger without mentioning his famous mental models.
We can't.
So could you break that down for our listeners?
Sure, yeah. So he was a voracious reader.
Okay.
And he believed in drawing on insights from a wide range of disciplines,
Okay.
like psychology, history, physics, biology,
Oh.
you name it.
Yeah.
He called these key concepts from different fields mental models.
So instead of having just a really narrow view,
Right.
he was constantly expanding his mental toolbox,
Exactly.
drawing on these different frameworks to understand the world.
Exactly. He famously said,
Yeah.
know the big ideas in the big disciplines and use them routinely, all of them, not just a few.
Mm.
He saw the world as this complex system
Okay.
and believed that understanding the fundamental principles from different fields could help you make better decisions,
No matter what you were doing.
no matter what you were doing.
It's amazing. It's like having a Swiss Army knife of knowledge.
Yes.
You got the right tool for any situation.
I love that analogy. Yeah, and the more diverse your mental toolbox, the more adaptable and effective you become as a thinker,
Right.
as a decision maker.
This is making me want to go on a reading spree right
And
now.
I think Charlie would approve.
Yeah.
He was a lifelong learner, never stopped seeking out new knowledge.
Right.
He understood that the more you learn, the more connections you can make,
Yeah.
and the more value you can create.
It's interesting to think that when you hear the name Charlie Munger, a lot of people just automatically think of finance.
Right? They think investing.
But his approach was so much bigger than that.
Way bigger.
Right.
I mean, he understood that business and investing at their core
Yeah.
are about human behavior. And to understand human behavior, you need to understand psychology,
Right.
history, culture, so many other things.
Yeah.
He wasn't just a numbers guy.
Right.
He was a student of human nature, which
Yep.
is what gave him that unique edge.
I'm starting to see why Bill Gates called him the broadest thinker he ever met.
Yeah, he was a true original.
Yeah.
He didn't fit into any neat boxes.
Right.
He was an investor, a lawyer, a philanthropist, a philosopher, a voracious reader.
Wow. And he never stopped challenging conventional wisdom.
Never.
He was always asking why,
Yeah.
looking for better ways of doing things.
Which is why his insights are still so relevant today.
Yeah.
Even though he's no longer with us.
Right.
He passed away in 2023.
Yeah.
But his ideas about avoiding stupidity,
Right.
staying within your circle of competence, developing that multidisciplinary perspective.
Right.
They're timeless.
It's almost like he left behind a blueprint for successful thinking.
He did.
Not just for investing, but for life.
For everything.
Yeah, for everything. Yeah. It's really remarkable how much his thinking went beyond any specific field.
It really is.
Like he figured out how to think successfully in general.
Yeah, and he did it in such an insightful and practical way.
Yeah.
He wasn't interested in ivory tower theories.
Right.
He wanted to understand how things actually worked and how to apply those insights to make better decisions in real life.
So you've spent so much time studying his work.
I have.
What would you say the most important lesson you've learned from Charlie Munger is?
For me, it's that multidisciplinary thinking.
Right.
The mental models.
Right.
Drawing on insights from different fields to understand the bigger picture. That's incredibly powerful. It lets you approach problems from multiple angles.
Okay.
And come up with solutions you might not have thought of otherwise.
It's like you're not just looking at a problem through one lens, but through a kaleidoscope.
Exactly.
So you're getting a richer understanding.
A much richer understanding.
And I think that's so essential today.
Oh, absolutely.
The world is more complex than ever.
More interconnected.
So the more you can draw from different disciplines, the better you'll be able to handle those challenges.
For sure, the more adaptable you'll be.
So as we wrap up, what's one key takeaway you want our listener to walk away with?
Okay, so if you want to achieve your goals,
Whether it's in your career, your finances, or just life,
Uh-huh.
learn to think like Charlie Munger.
Okay.
Be humble.
Yeah.
Be disciplined.
Okay.
Be a lifelong learner.
Uh,
And never underestimate the power of consistently avoiding stupidity.
I love that. Great advice.
His words.
So on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this episode.
Okay.
To our listeners, if you're looking for more, priceless financial and business information,
Yes.
hit that subscribe button.
Please.
And join us for more deep dives into the minds of some of these brilliant thinkers.
And remember, you don't have to be a genius to succeed.
Right.
Just focus on consistently not being stupid.
Words to live by from Charlie Munger.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.